remember Adam Sessler, Flash?
Yeah, he's gone. He's back to his crazy ways.
He's crazy.
He's crazy.
Seal clapping Sessler over there. Former X-Play host is courtesy of That Park Place. Adam Sessler unloads on controversial ex-Kotaku editor Alyssa Mercante on social media in epic takedown before going back to attacking gamers again, which is kind of one of those things that is very Adam Sessler. Adam Sessler attacked from former Kotaku senior editor Alyssa Mercante on social media in a movie many were quick to call a redemption arc. No. However, he soon went right back into his favorite pastime of insulting, demeaning, and lambasting gamers. Adam Sessler, the former co-host of X-Play on G4, has long been a polarizing figure in the gaming world. Once celebrated as a leading voice in video game journalism, Sessler's recent public outburst and divisive opinions left his reputation in tatters. But in a surprising twist, Sessler turned his ire on another vocal critic in the gaming community, attacking former Kotaku journalist Alyssa Mercante in an epic social media takedown.
And look at that smug bitch.
Jesus. The drama unfolded on Blue Sky. Oh, Sessler's over on Blue Sky now, where Sessler joined a discussion about the decline of gaming journalism. It all started with a post from a Bloodborne enthusiast named Rick, who lamented the fall of Kotaku. He says, that joystick clown from last night made me think of the rise and fall of once beloved gaming blogs, and Kotaku absolutely takes the cake of lamentable failure, Rick said. Up through the Totillo era, it was actually a badge of honor for a studio to have a puff piece written about them there. And that's true. Kotaku, people don't remember. Like, Kotaku was legitimately a pretty good outlet for a while. And then it just kind of, they got broke. They got broke.
Gather around, children, as I tell you a story about the days of Kotaku.
Yes. Sessler responded with a pointed critique of Kotaku's decline. Says, my God, yes. It was where the conversation for the day started, Sessler said. They would drive me nuts frequently with their takes, but they were for real and not the stinking sight of shit and supposition it decayed into. From there, the discussion turned to Mercante, a figure mired in controversy from her Kotaku tenure and beyond. Mercante was once the outlet's senior editor before having her contract bought out by her employer earlier this year. One user pulled no punches when describing Mercante. Says, well, look at batshit Alyssa Merchant put that publication through by supporting anti-Semitic morons on Twitch and that whole shit show over there.
He's talking about Hassan.
Yep. Sessler,
who rejected Mercante. Did you see that video?
Yes, I did. It was
it's really funny.
Phenomenal.
Because she loves him. She wants to have several of his babies. She's ready.
Wants to be all up on
she wants some of that professor.
Yeah.
And he was like, she stinks.
Sessler admitted that he was unfamiliar with Mercante, but dove headfirst into her contentious history. As Daryl elaborated on Mercante's controversy, ranging from alleged anti-Semitic behavior to internal strife at Kotaku, Sessler's response became more incendiary. Doing some digging myself, and good God, how long did they let her fly her national socialist colors? Sessler said, "Fuck the gaming press 5 times more than they ever should have been fired." Yeah, or ever been fucked, I guess. Mercante didn't respond directly to Sessler. Instead, she responded to YouTube personality Vera Dark, who shared screenshots of Sessler's takedown. Of course. And this is from Vera. Says, Sessler going after Mercante is so fucking funny. They're both lunatics. The left eating the left is glorious thing to watch. And Mercante says, if this excites you so much, I truly think you need to go for a nice brisk walk and look up at the clouds.
It's projection. Which
ironically is probably where Mercante is living. She's probably homeless and has to look at the clouds at this point, but whatever. For a fleeting moment, it seemed like Adam Sessler was aligned with the frustration of gamers about him, but that didn't last long because shortly after the takedown, people showed him that people were making videos about this conversation. and quickly went back. He says, "Do you have the right?" This person said, "Do you have the rights to cesspool? And would you be willing and able to do more reviews in that format in the future?" He says, "No." And as I said a couple months ago, hell no. Games and their insipid players and personalities told me to fuck off, and I did. It's a stupid medium filled with annoying fucks convinced of their genius, and I missed it like I missed a Disanty. He's a classy guy, that Adam Sessler, so it is what it is. And he followed up with says 95% of gaming fans, gaming press, and devs are miserable narcissists, grifters, and intellectual midgets, regardless of their political affiliation, he said. And once again, this is a guy who now posts over on Blue Sky as opposed to X. So there's that. It pretty much tells you everything you need to know about him. So yeah, that's kind of where it's at right now. But when Adam Sessler is calling you fucking crazy, like, that's next level.
He took a W and turned it into an L really fast.
Yeah, for sure. Like, sometimes you just got to know when to shut up. But I saw, Smash and all them talking about this over the weekend, and it's funny to see that go. But yeah, it's amazing to see. One thing is true. The gaming press, and we know this many, many times over, the gaming press is not what it used to be. And they are scrambling right now. I watched an interview that Destin, who just left IGN, Destin, who I worked with for a long time over at Screw Attack, when he went to IGN, was there for the last 13 years, became a very big player. And he just left IGN to go do his own thing. And he had Greg Miller on his first interview.
L. He wants his Patreons. That's what he wants, his patrons for that Patreon.
Well, I went over and I watched the interview in its entirety. And he asked,
how much did he suck his dick?
How much did Destin suck Greg's dick?
Yeah.
I would say it was a very cordial conversation. It was like two friends talking to each other because they've had a relationship for a long time.
Is Greg really anyone's friend?
Greg is everyone's best friend. That's their thing. That's what they call their community, best friends. So there's that. But
until you say something about women,
then you're no longer his friend. You get booted,
and then you're out.
I'll say this. Destin asked Greg about his thoughts on the gaming journalism, and Greg said something that I 100% agree on. He's like, look, there are journalists out there who are scrambling right now, and they've tried to make YouTube channels, and you know what? They realized it's really fucking hard, and they can't do it, which goes back to something that I've said many, many times. The reality is that a lot of these gaming journalists, they don't have the skill set to be successful on their own. They don't have a strong enough personality. They don't have a strong enough wit. You don't need a fancy camera and fancy lights and a nice setup to be successful. You just need to have strong enough opinions and be relatable to people. And that's what the gaming press currently is not. It's not any of those things. So that's why you're seeing such a failure for so many people trying to make that transition. So, I think we're not far off, Flash, from, within a couple of years. Kotaku will be out of business. Polygon will be.
It's a bold statement to say
out.
A couple of years for Kotaku.
Well, this is a broader statement about Kotaku, about Polygon, Rock Paper Shotgun. Go down the list of all these outlets. The Gamer, right? They will be gone. They will be gone. And if they're not gone, they'll be on tremendous life support. I think Kotaku is. I think their CEO, when they brought him in the third quarter of last year, I think he had a one year window to kind of turn it around. So I think that Kotaku will, if it doesn't see a dramatic uptick in traffic, in revenue, they will be cut by the fourth quarter this year.